currently have a player on a winning streak. The featured player's win streak has been stopped. The featured player's win streak has been stopped. We currently have a player on a winning streak. We currently have a player on a winning streak. The featured player's win streak has been stopped. We currently have a player on a winning streak. The featured player's win streak has been stopped. We currently have a player on a winning streak. The featured player's win streak has been stopped. The featured player's win streak has been stopped. The featured player's win streak has been stopped. We currently have a player on a winning streak. We currently have a player on a winning streak. The featured player's win streak has been stopped. The featured player's win streak has been stopped. The featured player's win streak has been stopped. We currently have a player on a winning streak. The featured player's win streak has been stopped. We currently have a player on a winning streak. We currently have a player on a winning streak. We currently have a player on a winning streak. We currently have a player on a winning streak.
Round 2. Fight! Ken wins!
We currently have a player on a winning streak. We currently have a player on a... We currently have a player on a winning streak. We currently have a player on a winning streak. We currently have a player on a winning streak. The featured player's win streak has been stopped. We currently have a player on a winning streak. The featured player's win streak has been stopped. The featured player's win streak has been stopped.
about now? Can you guys hear me now? Never easy, is it? Oh, cool. Was worried there for a minute. This is the first time I've actually streamed through OBS, so I've been getting all the little kinks ironed out. That's good though. I was replying to you guys, so apologies for that. How are you all doing? Yeah, good. Yeah, just annoyed trying to sort out the streaming. It was going alright earlier. I managed to get through the character creation, but as soon as I went into a lobby, like even ones that were empty, it was just like, it just kept crashing. Like I ended up going through like 2 separate streams, which was really annoying. So that's why I switched to OBS. So hopefully it goes well. I haven't had any crashes while I've not been streaming, which is what makes me think it was me streaming that was doing it. Which is weird. I hope that's fixed by the release of the game. But yeah, other than that, going good. Yeah, I'm glad to be playing the beta. I'd kind of made my peace with it, but I heard the codes were going for cheap, so I thought, you know what, might as well. Yeah, I'll probably move to a more populated server in a bit. I just want to kind of mess around with Ken a bit more. He's pretty good. Again, kind of like, obviously he's got the added like Jinryu kicks, which are pretty good. But yeah, like I guess kind of like everyone a bit. He just kind of feels like Street Fighter 5 Ken, but just better, really. Which is kind of like this game as a whole. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you got that sword. I felt bad when I heard what happened, but I'm glad that's gotten sorted for you. I want to see the parry and the drive. Where am I? Yeah, parameter, drive gauge, standard. There we go. Oh, there we go. That's standard now. So you do get drive gauge back from parrying, but just the active parrying. That's cool. Yeah, same. I wish I knew yesterday as well. I'm not bothered. I'm not that bothered about missing a day, but yeah, it is annoying. The whole situation's annoying in general. Really, that like, so many people didn't get into the beta because people were just sat with a ton of codes waiting for people to buy them. It's just a shame. Like I kind of wish Capcom, had a better handle on it, I guess. But what can you do? I'm sure they'll do an open one eventually. Yeah, same. I think the next one will probably be open. I don't know. I think Street Fighter Five ended up doing like 3 or 4 betas. I can't remember how many of them were closed and open though. I know the first one was definitely closed. I'm not sure about the others though, but yeah, hopefully the next beta or at the very least the beta after that is open. But yeah, I wonder how they're going to switch up the character rotation if they do another beta. Like, I think this is a pretty solid, list of characters. I think probably a grappler is the only one that's really missing. Oof. If they reveal Zangief before the next one, they can add him to the next beta. Not that I'm bothered about Zangief, but I think a grappler is pretty much the only character archetype that's kind of missing at the moment. So nice. Oof. Yeah, same. I definitely agree with that. If it's not February or at least March, I think we'll probably get probably around 2. But I definitely think there's at least one more beta uh, coming in the near future. Whether it's the end of the year or before the end of the year or not, I don't know. I would maybe assume so. Maybe December, if not November. Game is definitely fun though. I've been enjoying it. I'm glad I've got a chance to actually kind of like just mess around with it on my own terms. It was good playing it versus Fighting X the other month, but like it's hard to learn the game when you're like constantly getting your ass kicked. Yeah, same. Yeah, I was really happy when I saw it. It's such a cool nod. Put his on because he seems to like doing. Um, he seems to like doing his level 3. So let's save. Yeah, that's saved. Yeah. This is just the CPU. Yeah. I'm on one of the European servers at the moment. One of the ones that's really empty because I just want to mess around with Ken for a bit before I start going into matches and all that. So I think it's level 3 or 4. It's level 3. I'll put up to level 4 because I think that's the default for Street Fighter V's CPU. Yeah, this is the proper critical art one. Wow, I actually kind of didn't realize how different the two were. The normal super art version and the critical art version. That's cool. Because Ken's like looks the same, but just got the extra like additional like dunk, I guess, at the end. Um, I'll change servers and see if I can get a more populated one. Probably go into a North American one. No, no, I've got the trading settings. I've got it on fixed, so it's like it's fixed at 10%, so I can so that they can do their critical arts. That was a couple more people. Yeah, I think this is yeah, this is like the 13th European one. I went into this one because it was the most empty. Should I do a tour or not of the whole battle hub while it's empty, or would you rather I just went straight into another server? Oh, it just does it indefinitely. I was wondering why it wasn't stopping. I love the actions, the master actions. I'll just swap to a North American server. I was in one earlier and it was pretty busy. Yeah, these are all crowded. Oh, actually, wow, these are like some of these are emptier than the ones in like that one's emptier than the one I'm in at the moment. Oh, just go in the first one. See if I can recognize anybody in here. Oh, this guy's still in. He was from the. He's the guy I took a picture with for the thumbnail. What the? Yeah, the monstrosities. Like, if you didn't catch the live stream I did earlier, where I was doing the character creator, it's a really good character creator. I actually really like it a lot. But like, honestly, like the potential for monsters being made is so immense. Like, there's going to be some. I mean, obviously, people have been making freaks already, but there's going to be some insane ones made once everybody gets their hands on the game. Don't recognize anybody, but to be fair, it is American server and like the middle of the day over there probably. Oh yeah, it's absolutely cursed. Like it just like even me like going through it. Like I mean, this guy is like things like that shouldn't exist to be honest. Like that is a monster. But then you get like normal ones like this one here that kind of blend in pretty well. I kind of noticed most people, well not most people, but quite a few people are just kind of sticking with the default gear, which is surprising. I thought people would have switched around. Yeah, I've like not seen anybody in these. I mean, this guy's basically just a One Piece character. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen him in One Piece before. Yeah, to be honest, my kind of thing when it comes to character creators, like sometimes I like make myself, but most of the time I just kind of just make someone that I just think is cool or whatever. Like this guy, like I probably could have gone into more detail with this one, but like because I was streaming at the time, I didn't want to spend like an hour just on the character creator. Oh, oh, that was cool. Oh, that's nice. Oh, wow, wow! I actually didn't think you'd be able to fall off that. That's funny. Let's see if I can do it again. Oh wow. That's really funny. I'll probably just sit on an arcade if I can and just wait and see if somebody comes up to me, I guess. Alright, carried. That's funny. Oh no, don't want to spectate. Wanted to join. Always defaults to Luke. Oh no, which one was it? Oh, it was this one. Yeah, change the stage. Do this one. And then change it to... change it to Kimberly. She's kicking my ass. Probably try a couple of matches as Ken, and I'll probably mess around with a couple of other characters. Don't know when exactly or how long I'm going to be on for this tonight. Time is it now? Probably another hour or so. Hey man, how's it going? Oh, wrong time to taunt. Yeah, it's going pretty well so far. I've been enjoying it. I've already played the game, like versus fighting. Obviously, not like with all of this stuff in the battle hub and all that. But so I've played the game before, so I know what it's like to actually play it. But the beta is good. Yeah, it's actually quite impressive how like kind of stable it is. Like obviously, I was getting it crashing earlier, but I think that was more so because I was streaming or playing it on the console. So I think I think it didn't like that. But ever since I've like not done that because I'm streaming through OBS at the moment. It's been good, yeah. The netcode's been holding up. Obviously, I haven't had a match yet, but like when I went into the North American server, like it wasn't too bad. Seems to be holding up well, which is good. I'm glad. Especially after kind of like how everything was for Street Fighter 5 when that came out. Like it was not. Well, I mean, for pretty much all of Street Fighter 5. Yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it. I like the battle hub. I don't know how much I'm going to spend in it. You know, it's a cool thing, and like when I first saw it, and like start thinking about what it might have been before they mentioned anything, I kind of assumed it was going to be PlayStation Home, PlayStation Home, but for like Street Fighter, and it kind of is that, I guess. But like, yeah, it's cool. Like I said, I'll probably use it every now and then, but I don't. It's not something I'm going to spend like tons of time in. The character creator is really good. I said earlier in the previous stream I tried doing, probably one of the best character creators I've ever seen in any game, to be honest. It's really in depth, and the amount of stuff you can customize, like stuff I never would have thought about being able to change, you can change, which is really cool. Yeah, like yeah, it's just good. I think this game's going to be really good when it comes out, when you get the full package. You know me, if you know this channel, I'll mostly be interested in the story and world tour. So I've actually already known in my head what I'm going to do, like, because when the game comes out, I'll definitely stream it. Definitely, at least, not all of it. I probably won't stream the whole thing or the whole of World Tour, but I'll probably stream, like, the first hour or so of, midnight release. So that'll be good whenever that happens. Let me try try Guile for a bit. The load times, even like, you know, just changing everything there from the characters to the stage, like even then, like, it was really quick. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Does he have crouch? Ah, he doesn't have crouch walk. I always liked the crouch walk for Guile in Street Fighter 5. Like, it was dumb, but I thought it was funny and cool. Yeah, even then, like, I don't mean this in a bad way, but it just feels like 5 but better. Like, which is good. Like, I liked 5, but it had problems. Like, I still to this day don't really like how much, you know, of a character's kit was locked behind the V trigger system. So it's good. It's like you can just use anything you want. I need to look at his inputs because I just realized I don't actually know. What's this character specific settings? Maximum. No idea what that is. Command list. What's his super arts? Yeah, charge, backwards motion, charge. Yeah, that's standard. It's about what I was expecting. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. It is definitely an upgrade in some areas, and yeah, like I wouldn't say it's a downgrade, but it is like a sidestep. Like it's not good, it's not bad, but it's just different. That's cool. Yeah, like it's that thing with my channel. Like, obviously, I know I'm not like, you know, super popular or thousands and upon thousands of viewers and subscribers and all that, but even I'm like surprised at how kind of like quickly things are gone. Because from my end, obviously, I started the channel, like started uploading pretty regularly, like around, like, I think it's been about nearly 2 years now, and like the first like kind of like year or like half a year, maybe like 6 to 9 months was a bit slow, but like yeah, it's kind of been, it's been weird to see and kind of and obviously cool at the same time, like just how kind of like quickly things have kind of gotten. Oh. Does that always go up? Because I did. So that was just because I did R1. I did heavy punch for that one. That makes sense. Wow, that has really good range. Wow. Do not remember that having such good range before. Like, I always try and do flash kicks and I always miss by like a mile, but that did really well. Yeah, exactly. That's a very good point. And I think because I've already like I've been around on different places. Like I was on NeoGAF for a while. I was on Reset Era for a while, and like I've definitely, you know, people. Not obviously not everyone, but like I've kind of like people who are around those areas and Twitter and all that stuff. Like and SRK and all that. They've all kind of, I've made a name for myself as like the Street Fighter 3 / Sean guy, which I'm happy with. I'm happy that being my identity. You know, things I'm very passionate about and things I, you know, have a lot of love for. So, you know, I have no problem being known as the Street Fighter guy. But yeah, no, it is, you are right. Like, once you start making stuff and kind of develop your niche, it is pretty easy to, you know, find your audience, I guess. Yeah, same. I mean, that's why I started. Oh, that was way off. That was why I started the channel, really. Oh, it would have been perfect. Never been good with charge supers. Yeah, got him. Yeah, that's why I started the channel, really, same. Like, I love fighting game stories. Like, some are great, some aren't so great. But I always have an interest in them. Like, I've been getting into a bit of Tekken lately, like, been playing the series and kind of just, you know, watching the endings for some games and, like, you know, listen to the soundtracks. And, like, I love Tekken story, but, like, the way it's presented is a bit, you know, mishmashy sometimes. Like, sometimes it's great. Like, I love Tekken 4 story and the way that's presented. Love Tekken 3 story. Even like Tekken 5's, you know, isn't my favorite, but I think it's good. 6's is not great, and 7's I think is okay, but the way it's presented is awful. Like, I hate Tekken 7 story mode. I legit think it's worse than Street Fighter V's. That was really quick. But yeah, like I said, I've said before to like dozens of people over the years, like when it comes to fighting game stories and how much I'm interested in them, I've always considered it both a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing in the sense that, like, I think you develop a very strong attachment to the characters and the world of each, each individual fighting game. Because even in the series like Street Fighter, each individual game, like each individual series, like the Alpha series and the 2 series and the 3 series, they all have their own identities, they all have their own vibes and, worlds, even though it's a shared world, And I think in particularly with Street Fighter 3, like how kind of closed off 3 is to the rest of the series, I think it really helps that having its own identity. But yeah, I always enjoy like how each individual game tells its story and has its characters and the things they do and all that. So yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, Garstein. I honestly had the weirdest like entry into the series because for a long time I was a Mortal Kombat like guy, like and sometimes Tekken, but I was mainly like I grew up playing Mortal Kombat. Like I think Mortal Kombat Trilogy was like one of the first games I ever played like on the PlayStation 1, years ago. So yeah, like I definitely was more of a Mortal Kombat guy. The first Street Fighter game, obviously I played 2. As did everybody. But I never really, got that into it. I thought it was alright, but it didn't blow me away or anything. And then... Hang on, let me change this. Yeah, yeah, never really got into it that much. I thought it was alright. But, oh wow, I like Kimberly. She's really quick. Well, I mean, it makes sense, she's a ninja, but... Oh wow, I like that. I'll pause for a second. Oh no, I have seen that collection before. The Hyper with Hyper 2 and Third Strike. That's probably, I would say, in terms of, like back then, that is probably the best way to really get into the series because you've got probably arguably like 2 of the best games in the series up to that point. I'm not too familiar with Hyper Street Fighter 2. Obviously Super Turbo is the one everybody reviews. That's cool. Yeah, so like I played 2 and never really like, thought it was alright, but never got that, never got that much of an attachment to it. It was just kind of moved on. And then I remember I got Street Fighter 4 when it came out, and like they were very new to the series, hadn't even really even heard of Street Fighter 3 at that point. And I played 4, and it was just so different from what I was used to with Mortal Kombat that I never really got into it, and I think I ended up selling it. I also, even back then, kind of thought Street Fighter 4 looked a bit ugly. Okay, I get you. That makes sense then. Yeah, in that sense, that is probably like the 2 best version, like the 2 best games in the series up to that point to get into. So that is a pretty good package. Hang on, I'll pause this for a sec. Yeah, so I played Street Fighter 4 and was just kind of like, liked it, but just kind of didn't really understand it back then. Like I didn't really have the knowledge or the kind of, or even really the patience to kind of get familiar with it. Just remember, I think I remember Seth being weird. I remember finding Seth weird and annoying, and that was about it, to be honest. Like I really like do not have much of a memory or like any kind of connection with that era of kind of like Street Fighter, and then kind of left it for a while. And then what actually got me into like Street Fighter fully to actually give it a full on chance was I used to really be into Super Best Friends Play, and I actually got into them because of the video they did on Mortal Kombat 9. Oh, that was my phone. Sorry about that. Yeah, I got into like them through their Mortal Kombat 9 video. And then exploring their channel, and they did a video where they played Third Strike, and I saw it, and I was like, whoa! I thought like this game looks crazy good. Like I was really like blown away by it. And yeah, and then I still like kind of like remember by the time I actually got around to like trying it, it was down to like I remember it was either between Ultra Street Fighter 4 or Third Strike Online Edition, and I was like. Yeah, I think Ultra was like it just come out, and I was like torn between getting them. And I really wanted Third Strike, but because Ultra was new, I like really wanted Ultra as well, so I actually ended up getting Ultra first. Hang on. What's going on there? I don't know what's happened. Can't do any buttons, I can just... Oh, I got a match. That was very confusing. Okay, I'll pick up this story in a minute, once I no doubt lose this match. Oh, I've completely forgot about the face thing. Yep, and in case you were wondering why I always say I'm not a fighting game person in terms of the gameplay, that's exactly why. I'll leave. I'll let somebody else join them. I want to finish this story first, actually. Yeah, I got destroyed there. GG's to that person. So yeah, actually, I will say for me being in Europe and that person being in North America, I assume that connection was actually pretty good. Definitely could have been a lot worse. Yeah, so I remember it came down to getting like Third Strike or Ultra Street Fighter 4, and I think because Ultra Street Fighter 4 was new, I ended up getting Ultra, and like I didn't even really play that much. And then like a couple months later, I ended up getting online edition, and the rest is history basically. Like almost that was honestly in terms of like playing a fighting game for the first time. Like that was probably the quickest I've ever like gotten from like starting a game to like finding my main. Was when I when I found Sean, and and of all the things, the thing that drew me to Sean first was his yellow gi, because yellow's my favorite color. And I remember playing him and just being like, oh wow, this character's really fun. It wasn't even until like later on that I even like learned that like Sean has like really bad balance in Third Strike. You know, obviously like one of the worst characters in the game, probably the worst, next to 12. He's still there. I'll hop on this one for a bit. So yeah, that was pretty much my journey with Street Fighter, and then by the time I actually like fully got into the series was about when 5 got announced, and then like, I was went, oh bloody hell, just immediately uppercut. I'll give Jamie a go, because I did actually really want to look at Jamie after the beta. Did that not... somebody's just hopped on the arcade. Cool, well, we're going to find out again if I'm going to get my ass kicked or not. I'll try and stay on this one. If this is the same person, if they followed me to another cab. Well, he's on drink level 4, so I'm done. Yeah, no, that's a good point. I actually did forget. Nah, yeah, sure, go ahead. Like, this isn't my main PlayStation account that I'm on at the moment. I'm only using this one because I wanted a North American one so I could redeem the beta code I got. Jamie has really good pressure, I feel like. Like, as soon as you get in the corner, like, you just, that's it. I'll rematch them for prosperity's sake, but after they probably no doubt beat me in the rematch, I'll probably move to a different server just so I can, yeah, just try out the game a bit more. Damn it. Yeah, Jamie, when he gets strength level 4, is scary. Like, he's really, really strong. Well, rip. Cool, thanks. I'll make note of that. Yeah, it's that thing with fighting games. I love playing them, but I've never been strong at them. Especially on a new one. That's why I like to stick with training mode. I think later on I'll probably come back and later on I'll come back and oh no option, yeah, sales, that's what I wanted. Yeah, I'll maybe try again. I might just spend the rest of today just training and getting used to the game and trying out characters, and then eventually start actually trying other matches tomorrow. I'm sure I'll still get my ass kicked, but oh well. Yeah, it's weird. Honestly, can't explain it. I think I've heard about I think I've heard about it before, where people are like, you're better than the friends. Like when you play a fighting game, your kind of like skill level. It's like where you're better than the people that you know in real life, but you're not as good as the people online, or the people where like when you fight your friends who are casuals, like you can beat them, but when you play against another person who plays fighting games, like you're not that strong with them. That's pretty much me, to be honest. Like I'm probably the best out of the people of my friends in like real life, but like when I get online, I just get wrecked. Where am I going? Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I'll go there. Yeah, solo training. But yeah, I fully straight out the gate. The AI doesn't waste time, like. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Again? Yeah, it's one of those things where like I know I'm fully like weird, but yeah, like you said, to each their own. I still enjoy them. It's why in that sense, I think it's why I end up gravitating towards the stories a bit more, because it's like, normally I'm not that strong on the competitive side, so I might as well enjoy the narrative side, I guess. I definitely want to. Yeah, cool. Glad I can try Jamie drink level 4. Probably want to turn this off actually, just for a bit, just so I can try out the character a bit and get used to their moves. Yeah, Jamie during level 4 was insane. He was definitely my favourite character from when I played it versus fighting. Like, the stuff he can do is just insane. Yeah, I saw this. If you mash low kicks, he just, he does a little dance. So it's that level of like attention to detail which I just find fascinating in this game. It's like they've really thought of like every little thing. Well, that's a very long taunt. Like I can't, like during the whole of that I couldn't move. So like, yeah, if you do that taunt, like you are locked into it, and you're just completely open to get, hit out of it. Let me see what moves he's got. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is kind of like a kind of cheaters. I get, well, not cheaters, but a kind of a quick or half level 4 super. Yeah, then that's super cool. Oh yeah, it's kind of like how Ziku changes forms. You could just hold it. That's cool, yeah. I definitely, I don't know if I'll like main him, but I can see myself using Jamie. He is pretty fun. So far at the moment, just by default, it's probably gonna be Ken, because the last couple games it's always been, if I don't get a character I really wanted, which more than often happens, I just stick with Ken, because I tend to gravitate towards the Shoto playstyle more. Like, those are the characters I enjoy playing as more. So Ken is just kind of like a safe pick until I eventually get like the character I eventually wanted as DLC, or don't get him. With the case of 5. Well, to be fair, I did want Alex. Alex was probably my like secondary in Street Fighter 5. I didn't play him like loads. Compared to Ken, because I'm just more familiar with Ken and Shotos, but I definitely I did play Alex eventually, obviously, because I mean, he was the first character that came out for DLC, but yeah, this time I'm definitely banking on Sean, so hopefully it doesn't take him a while to get in, because that's the thing, like, if they had Sean, like, I'll be happy, but if he's like the last season of DLC, that would be very disappointing. So I'm hopeful he's, at the very least, I think the longest I'd probably be happy waiting for him is like season 3. I think if he's not in by season 3, I would probably just rather he didn't get added, so I could just rather wait until he gets eventually added to Street Fighter 7 or whatever. Which sucks. I don't want to, I don't want it to get to that, because this game is really good, and like I've said before, and in other videos I've done, Sean is like built for this game. Like, the whole vibe and everything, it's practically like made for him. Probably mainly just because he's in 5 for man, and it's also yeah weird. Like I liked Luke a lot in 5, but I don't know why. Like I'll probably try him later on, or maybe tomorrow. But I liked Luke a lot in 5, but the bits I played of him in 6, I'm not that keen on him for some reason. There's just something about him I just seems off to me. Like I definitely, at the very least, I don't think he's as good as he's in 5. I wouldn't say he's bad. I don't think any character is really bad, but I definitely think he's a step down from how he was in 5. But then again, I'm not like a Luke main. I just I played him a couple times, towards the end of Street Fighter 5. So yeah, what do I know? I guess, but that's just my kind of like brief opinion from the bits I tried of Luke in 6. Manon is also I think at this point, like obviously with my disappointments with the base roster aside, I definitely think the 2 characters outside of Ken that I'm very interested in trying and I hope I click with will probably be Manon and Lily. Lily's surprising for me because I've never been a T-Hawk fan, never been a fan of him as a character or how he plays. But I don't know, I just like the look of Lily. And, I'm hopeful at the very least, even if, I don't enjoy playing her, I can't gel with her playstyle wise. I hope at least she's at least some form, because there's characters that I don't like fully that I wouldn't main, but I would at least play. And I hope at the very least Lily falls into that one where, I can play her, but I'm not gonna like main her. And same with Manon really. Abel was probably my main in Street Fighter 4. I really like playing as Abel. So I mean that's kind of been the assumption with Manon, is that she's basically just going to be female Abel. Of course, could be completely different. She could be completely her own character, which I kind of hope she is, because I do like Abel a lot, and I would like to see him come back someday. Yeah, it's the thing. I don't hate T-Hawk. I used to think my thing with T-Hawk is just I just think he's really boring, and I think that's not a knock against him personally. I just feel like when most fighting games do Native American characters, they just make them really stoic and silent, and it just makes them boring. Especially when you kind of put them next to the really energetic, vibrant, kind of like characters that like have a lot of personality and flair to them. There's nothing wrong with a stoic character, but like when I think of like Nightwolf and like Chief Thunder, like I just feel like 9 times out of 10, a Native American character in a fighting game is just like very stoic, stone faced, doesn't emote, doesn't do anything, and it's like, ugh. I don't know. It's never been a trope or a type of character I've liked. So, like I said, I don't hate T-Hawk. He just doesn't interest me. So maybe in the future. I suppose I'll try Jury. If he comes back in this game at some point, maybe I'll end up liking him a bit more. But we'll have to see. Yeah, it does. It does look good. I'm really impressed with how it looks. Like, I think obviously now that we've seen like Tekken 8, and I'm sure whatever NetherRealm are working on next visually will probably blow like 6 out of the water. But I think that's fine. I think 6's biggest strengths will be how it plays, obviously. Like I said, but that's it. I don't think it's a bad game. Like I don't think it's a bad looking game. Like, I think this game looks really, really good. I definitely think it being on last gen though probably hurts it a bit in terms of like how much they can actually really do visual wise, but I think considering that, I think they've done a pretty good job. Also as well, I think the art style really helps a lot. Really helps carry the kind of graphics, I guess. Like, it's not, like I said, not bad, but obviously it kind of like remains to be seen if Tekken 8 is going to look like it did in that trailer. Part of me still kind of doubts it, but we'll have to see. Yeah, I already like Jury a lot more than in 5. I think I've said it before, but like she was awful in 5. I really, really did not like Jury. Yeah, I really did not like her in Street Fighter 5. I thought she was probably, honestly, one of the worst, kind of like, from like going from one game to the next. Like, I think they really fucked her up in 5. Like, just visually and gameplay wise and all that. I just, I'm not a Jury fan at all, but like even I was like, I don't hate her, but like just never had an interest. But even I was like, this character's like in 5 is just shit. So I'm glad they've kind of gone back and, you know, not so much reinvented it, but just kind of like honed in on the aspects of it that people liked, which is, I mean, more than just feet, but, you know. Who do you want to expect for Tekken 8? Honestly, Tekken 8, or just Tekken in general, is one of the series that I'm kind of fortunate in that the character that I like the most is the character that is pretty much guaranteed to be in every game, and that's Jin. Jin's my favorite Tekken character. Love him ever since I first played Tekken 3 years ago when I was a kid. So in that sense, like at this point, I'm kind of good on characters for Tekken 8. I'm kind of open for whoever. Characters I'd like to see, though, on top of Jin. Big Mokujin fan. I love Mokujin a lot. Would love if he came back. We're bummed he missed Tekken 7. But I get it. But, you know, if he's in the game, it's weird with, like, Mokujin, because I don't know, because, like, Mimic characters are really weird. I don't know if you would really, like, could you even really sell a Mimic character as DLC? Like, would people be okay with that? I think people would be okay with it for Mokujin, because I think he's popular. Jury's alright, but I'm not for same. Yeah, that's pretty much my stance. Like, I don't hate her, I don't love her, but like, I'm just not into feet. So I think, at least in Street Fighter 6, I'm just not her target demographic. Which I'm fine with. There's plenty of other characters I'll like more. What was that? How was that way? Yeah, so I would definitely like Mokujin. He's definitely a character I've always liked. I'm a fan of both Kings, but my personal favourite out of the two is probably Armor King. I'm obviously not worried about King. There's been a King in every game, so that's not a concern for me. I would like Armor King eventually. That'd be cool. You know, but that's again, like, I'm not going to be upset like if he doesn't make it. I'm not going to be upset if Mokujin doesn't make it. Like I said, I've already got Jin, and it's that thing of like, if Jin's not in the game, then yeah, I would have been like furious, because it's like, it's Jin. Like, why would you leave out Jin? But, you know, already out the gate, he's confirmed. So it's kind of weird, like, going from, like, Tekken to more to Street Fighter and, like, seeing the two. And it's like Street Fighter, I'm, like, still waiting for the character that I've been wanting for years, you know. And even, because there's a thing with Sean. Like, I talk about Sean a lot because he's my focus in a sense. Because, like, Alex came back. Like, Alex is my favorite Street Fighter character. But, like, he came back in 5. So, in my mind, like, the priority for like characters for Street Fighter 6 that I want to see come back. Like, Sean is definitely like on top at the moment, but whenever Sean gets added, I'm pretty sure Sean will probably be in the game before Alex. Like, once Sean's in, then I'll move to Alex. But it's just funny to kind of like be in that state with Street Fighter where I'm just kind of like, you know, I'm kind of like just constantly waiting and like asking and just not getting anything for the characters I like. But then in Tekken, it's like every game I just get the character I like the most, which is just funny to kind of like compare the two. When it comes to stuff like Mortal Kombat, though, I'm kind of in the middle, because my favorite character in Mortal Kombat is Ermac, and he's popular, but like not popular where he's a shoo-in, but he's not unpopular where like I always like the gamble of, is he going to make it or not, like, or the kind of, not the gamble, I think the gamble is like, you know, because he was in X but he wasn't in 11, so he's kind of in that middle where it's like he could easily miss the game, but he's popular, so chances are he probably will make it at least eventually. So yeah, good disability. I've not actually really looked at the disability settings, to be honest. I'll have a look. I think they're great. From what I've heard, they're really good, and I think that's great. I absolutely think, you know, more fighting games, or just more games in general, should have disability options. So I'm completely on board with that. I think that's great. Let me see the options. No. Game. Other settings. No. Privacy. No. Controls. Other input settings, nope. Camera, nope. Display, nope. Doesn't look like they're on here, unfortunately. I'd probably have to go to the main menu. I don't mind. The servers are all pretty dead at the moment. It's not peak time, so I don't mind quitting out and having a look. Oh no, it's the same options. That's oh no, I think I can change them. Can I? I do specifically remember seeing, oh yeah, in battle accessibility settings, distance to opponent sound, enable or disable the sound effect that plays to notify the player of their distance from their opponent. That's cool. Like the only one I've got on is the drive gauge one, because that's the one that like I say, when I play, I don't really look at the drive gauge. I've noticed, like, I'm aware of it and I know I have drive meter, but I'm not like constantly like looking up at it. So I've put that one on because I think that's a good one to know when I'm like, you know, if I'm empty or if I'm full. So I like that. Cross-up attack hit symbol sound. Enable or disable the sound effect that plays upon landing a cross-up attack. So basically, what I'm gathering from most of these is like for stuff like this, it's like whenever you get like hit by like a counter or a cross-up, like the thing that comes up that says like cross up or counter attack, like I'm assuming most of these are like you'll get a sound effect when that happens, which I think is cool. I think that's great. Like I think that's absolutely something that makes sense. I think that's something that fits, so that's good. High, mid, low attack hit symbol sound. Okay, so I assume this is like you'll get a different sound effect depending on which attack you do, which again, great. Vitality, super art gauge amount notification. So that's the same as the drive gauge, but that's fine. I personally don't need to get a sound indicator for that. But again, great for the people that do. Same with the super art. Stage character select and narration timing. Set when narration plays during stage and character select. Upon button press. Upon selecting with cursor. So that's cool. So see that's a really really good one. I like that one. So I think what that one means is if you're going around the character select, if I select like Chun-Li, normally it would select it when you like it would say like Chun-Li when you select it, but if you have it on with cursor, so you can hover around. So if you're blind or you've got vision impairment of some kind, you'll be able to like the game will tell you when you're hovering over a specific character. That's really cool. I think that's a really good thing. I'm surprised more games don't have that. I think that's it for you got the detailed sound effects, but yeah, no, that is cool. I think that is cool. Yeah, I can't play any of these unfortunately. Yeah, I am definitely looking forward to World Tour the most. Like I was more interested in Battle Hub because I didn't really know what it was, but now that I've played it and I'm like, yeah, cool. Like now I know what it is and I know what it's like. It is something I will use. I think every now and then, at least probably a couple times a week, I will probably come in here and wander around and maybe get some challenges in to get some coins for my character. But like, I doubt like I'm gonna like be in here every day or anything. I think most people will probably just stick with Fighting Ground for like selecting online stuff. So, but I think Battle Hub is fine. And obviously, Fighting Ground is Fighting Ground. It'll have the arcade mode, which I assume will have each kind of personal, kind of individual story for each character. I think they've already confirmed that. So, I think when I play the game when it comes out and I stream it on release, I'll probably do Fighting Ground first. I think I've already decided in my head I'm going to do Ken's arcade first, mostly because I just want to see Sean if Sean's in it, but also because I think Ken at the moment has the most interesting story. So I'll do Ken's first. And then I'll probably do like an hour or so of World Tour just to see what it's like and get a feel of it and make some progress. And then I might finish with like, because like it'll be like midnight and I don't want to be up all night. But I'll probably finish with I'll let whoever's watching at the time decide what the next arcade ladder I should do for which character. I can join Asia 05. That's weird. I'll go back into Europe. It's weird how 20's like normal, but the others are all unpopulated. No problem. Hopefully that wasn't too quick or fast for you. I didn't really think about letting you personally read them. I was just going through them at my own pace. So sorry if you missed any of them because I went through too quick. Yeah, I think the main allure of Battle Hub will pretty much just be wandering around and just seeing other people's creations. Like, I think if you just purely want to play online, I definitely think you might as well just stick with Fighting Ground. To be honest, you can sit. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. See, this is the idea I had. I thought it'd be cool if there's like a tournament online, like something from the Capcom Pro Tour, if you could like. if there's like, you know, grand finals of Evo or something, and if you want, like you can come and Battle Hub and sit down and like watch it with everybody like on the big screen. I hope they do something like that. I think that'd be very cool if they did stuff like that. Today's MVP is him. Xrd rollback, and that's funny. Players on a winning streak. Chaos FGC. 24 win streak, wow. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, when you get people who are really good at Street Fighter and like know how to play the game in and out, like there's nothing much you can really do. I'm interested what this one's going to be, because this also looks like a clothing thing, but like obviously it's coming soon. But like it kind of looks like, you know, different characters. Like you got the Blanca Chans and all that, and you've got the you know, the Capcom jacket there. Also, that looks like a cop uniform on the thing on the red jacket with the thing. That looks like a police badge. I don't know. Oh, it's the same hoodie I'm wearing. I'm an idiot. Oh, I literally didn't even realize that until I saw like the midriff cut off. Yeah, same. I'm not good at them either, but I still love them. I still enjoy them. You know, I still have fun. I think that's the important thing, really. I think like win or lose, as long as you're having fun and you're enjoying it, I think that's the most important thing. It's really cool that you can do that. You can like fly off there. Let's spectate these two for a bit, so you can actually see some good gameplay. Yeah, honestly, it's that thing. Like I've been thinking about it, and I've been talking to other people about it, and it's that thing of like, I think the notion of like the best Street Fighter game, or just the best game, the best fighting game in general. I always think that stuff is very subjective. Like I used to be very hardcore, like Third Strike is the best fighting game of all time. Like fuck you if you disagree. But over time, you kind of have to realize that stuff is very subjective. Like people don't like Third Strike, and they're very, you know, very valid reasons for not liking Third Strike. And you know, same with, oh, they both quit. I'll find someone else. You know, very, very like valid reasons for not. I mean, same with me. Like people adore Street Fighter 2, you know, all versions or Super Turbo, and like personally, I just think the game is just not that great to play. I think it's just not aged that well. I think it's very slow, but like people love Super Turbo, and I'm not judging them for that. If they think Super Turbo is the best fighting game of all time, like cool, good for them. I'm glad they've found a game that they feel comfortable saying that to. But like, it's that thing with like Third Strike where I'm always like, if I it's really hard for me to get my non-fighting game friends into it, because it's like the only thing you can really do is just play it. Like you can't do anything else with Third Strike. You either play it online, you play it in training, or you play the arcade mode for the endings. And for me, that's fine, because I'm used to that, because I played such a wide variety of fighting games that I think that's fine. But like, oh well, they quit as well. Oh, they're on. I'll spectate now. Yeah, so it's that thing of like, if you boot up Third Strike, you can only like all you can do is just play the game. Like you just do the fighting. Like you just play matches. Like you either do training, you either play online, or you just play the arcade. And in that sense, you know, I feel like this will probably end up being the best Street Fighter game, just in terms of like as a product. I think just the options you've got in terms of World Tour and Fighting Ground and Battle Hub, I think. Like, because I think of like, if when I show this game to my friends, and like they've come up to me and they've said that they've seen trailers and footage of this game and they think it looks amazing. And you know, for like those people, like these are people who do not play fighting games. They do not know anything about. Like, there's one friend I have who like doesn't even know who the World Warriors are. Like, he knows what Street Fighter is, but like he doesn't even know who like Ken or Blanca or Zangief is. Like, if I name these characters, he'll have no idea who I'm talking about. So he's like super casual, and like he's come up to me and he's, you know, said like, oh, I saw a trailer for Street Fighter 6, looked really good. And it's a thing where it's like, I can tell that friend, like, yeah, you can play it, and you can do this, you can do World Tour, you can do, like, Battle Hub, and it's like, just the fact you can, like, boot up the game and just do something that's not just fighting, I think is very important, and I think that's something that will definitely lift Street Fighter 6 above the other games in the franchise. Because there's that thing, it's like, yeah, fight, you know, obviously it's a fighting game, and the fighting is the most important part, but, like, the thing I think about that I think a lot of modern fighting games lost is just other modes, just other stuff for you to do. And it's like I think this is probably the most content feature rich like fighting game since probably the PS2 Mortal Kombat's. You know, and those games were crazy for it. They had like chess combat and motor combat and like puzzle combat and conquest, and like, you know, it's just great to see that, like, you know, Street Fighter like going the extra mile, because like 5 was so shit, like especially day one, like there was nothing to do in that game. You did the character stories, which are basically just watching like bad Bengus art, and then like that was it, and then you just had to go online, like, or you know, I actually, yeah, like you literally you had to go online, or you had to play survival, like that was all you could do. And it's that thing where it's like I can't recommend 5 to people. Like, even now I would struggle to recommend 5 to people, because it's that thing of like, once you do the character stories, like there's just not a lot to do. And I'm hoping that World Tour is something that is, at least, at the very least, is replayable. You know, I hope it's something that when you finish it and you've beat the last stage and you beat whoever the final boss is and you've done it, I hope it's just something you can keep doing. Like, there's something worth doing to keep going back to. I think that's very important. And I think that will probably be the case, because I think in terms of everything else, they've been on top of the ball with quite a lot of stuff in terms of, like, you know, like doing the right thing, so to speak. So I'm hopeful that they'll be aware of that. But yeah, that's kind of my main thing. That was a tangent. I kind of just went on, but yeah, I definitely think in terms of, like, you know, just fighting games or just games in general, I definitely think 6 is the one where it's like, if you want to get a non-fighting game player into the series, like, it should be this game, to be honest. Because I think in terms of just out of all the modern day fighting games at the moment, like, this is the one that will probably get the most people into it, because it's just something to do other than fighting. Because even like Tekken, and like, because even like Tekken 7 and like Mortal Kombat like 11 or Injustice 2 or stuff like that, like, those are games that are like lauded for the, you know, for the single player modes, but at the end of the day, like, all you're really doing in that game still is just fighting. Like, you're just fighting the AI, you know, and just watching cutscenes, and like, that's fine and all, but like, you know, I just feel like games need more than that these days. Yeah, Ken's good. I like Ken. I will definitely need more time with him, but no, he's good. I like him. I probably like him more than 5. But it's kind of like I said earlier, he just feels like 5 Ken, but just with more to him, which I appreciate. But like I said, that's kind of the case with every character. All right, I'll finally try Luke. Pretty sure I should be able to... Oh, no. Damn it. It's a bit too close. Nice. I was able to get it. That's cool. I was glad you can combo that. Yeah, I don't think Luke is bad in this. I just think he's just... I just remember feeling that he just wasn't as strong as he is in 5. But he's not bad, actually. I don't know if they've changed him, or if I just, you know... Now that I'm able to kind of try him out at my own pace, I'm like liking him more. I'll probably try out Luke, and then I'm gonna try out Ryu, and then I'm probably gonna call it. I'll probably need to go grab something to eat soon, and after that I might come back later on, but I don't know yet. I'll have to see. So if you see a stream come up, then obviously I came back on, but I doubt it, to be honest. I'll probably just chill for the rest of the night and just come back on tomorrow about 3 and be able... I will do a longer stream tomorrow, because I was probably going to think about finishing about now, like, or about, you know, 10-20 minutes from now, but like, the stream kept crashing, like the demo kept crashing, and because I was streaming through the PlayStation, it kept cancelling the stream, which was really dumb and annoying. So yeah, tomorrow hopefully should stream from about 3, and then hopefully be uninterrupted and have a longer session without getting constantly interrupted. So that'll be good. But yeah, I'll try out Luke for a bit more, then try Ryu again. And the only character I haven't played as is Chun, but like I said, not the strongest Chun player. I might make her a priority for tomorrow though. I'll probably try her out first thing tomorrow. Flash Knuckle. I swear he had like an uppercut, a DDT. After an overdrive, Flash Knuckle. Yeah, it really annoys me they gave Luke a DDT. Like, that's Alex's thing, man. Obviously, it's not a flying DDT, so, you know. Oh, it's that thing where it's like, I remember such a weird thing where people were saying that, like, oh, Luke is just Shawn, he's just modern day Shawn, like, they're not going to do Shawn, like, because of the slam dunk thing, and I'm like, never understood that. How do you do that? Oh, there's a way that damage is numbered in the thousands and not hundreds, like in 5. I never actually thought, I actually never noticed that. I'll have to have a look in a minute. After an OD rising uppercut. Should probably put the drive gauge back on. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Yeah, I'll put the damage. Is it attack data? Put attack data on, see if that does it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's really weird. I don't know why it does that. Let's see if I can. Nope. How do you do that? That's annoying me that I'm not getting this. Trying to do the dunk, which is the only thing of Shawn's that Luke even has, but yeah, but like he plays nothing like Shawn. OD rising uppercut. Yeah, I've done that and then double. Keep doing that. Oh, there we go. I was just not mashing hard enough, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It's that thing, like, I don't know why people were saying that. Like, I don't know how widespread that was. I was seeing it quite often. Like, I was seeing a lot of people on, like, Twitter and stuff being like, oh, Luke has Shawn's dunk and his tackle is his critical art. Shawn probably is not going to be in the game. And I was like, what? It's 2 moves. And it's like, yeah, like, it is the Shawn dunk. I'm not denying that. But, like, Shawn has 2 dunks. Like, sorry, he has 2 Shoryukens anyway. So it's not like, you know, he has no Shoryuken now. Like, he has the double Dragon Fist, I think it's called. But, like, people were using that and his, like, his critical art here. Like, they were using that, like, the ground pound. They were using that as if it was, like, that means Shawn won't be in the game. Because, like, oh, Luke has 2 of his things, so there's no need for Shawn now. Which is just baffling because, like, Luke... Like, everything else about Luke is just not Shawn at all. Like, again, I don't know how widespread, like, I don't know if everybody was hearing about that or not, but it was so weird, such a weird thing to me that people were saying. Yeah, Luke's fine. Like I said, probably not a character I'm going to put a ton of time into. You know, definitely now that I've got a chance to just kind of, like, sit here and just kind of, like, you know, try him out without having to worry about fighting off the opponent. He's not as bad as I thought he was, but, yeah, I still kind of prefer him in 5 though. But he's not bad. I'll try Ryu now. But yeah, it's that thing with this game at the moment where it honestly just feels like a waiting room for Street Fighter 3 characters. Like, and not even Shawn, you know, just other characters. I really want to see how Dudley and Makoto and the, like, characters like Elena work in this game. And just to see them, oh, you're kidding me. Oh, so it's not streaming then. It's It's just as a whole, because I've had this running for a while now. That's the first time it's crashed since I stopped streaming, so that's weird. I've not heard about it crashing that much, so I don't know if it's just me or not. What do you think about Team Samurai and King of Fighters 15? I'm honestly not the biggest Samurai Showdown fan. Like, I don't hate it, but like, I've just never really been interested in it. I'm not against them being in the game. I am kind of like, at the same time though, I think there's so many King of Fighters characters that aren't in the game yet, that haven't been in the game in a while, that I'm kind of like, like, you know, like 3 Samurai Showdown characters just getting thrown in, like, you know. But like I said, I'm not against it. But like, to be honest, I was more against it before Shingo got announced. Once Shingo got announced, I was like, oh yeah, cool. Like, that's fine. Like, because I got the character I liked. Yeah, like I said, not a terribly exciting team for me. I haven't even bought them yet. So I don't know when I will. I might do it at some point in the future. I see that's the thing. I don't know if they're gonna do character packs, because the thing they've always did with 5 was like, it was, well, I say balanced, but you know, characters always kind of like, it was like you had characters split, like there was like a 2 character and an alpha character, and then like a new character and like someone from 4, you know, stuff like that. Like, it was balanced. So like, you had like, obviously not fairly or anything, but like, you had like characters from different games. And I don't know, it's that thing where it's like, I don't really know if I like the idea of them just like having like a full year like of, you know, DLC where it's just characters from one game, because it's like, you're only going to get like max 6. So it's that thing of like, if you do packs like that, it's kind of like, okay, like you get 6 like Street Fighter 3 characters, but like the Street Fighter 3 characters that didn't make it, like they're not happening for like a long time, because then the next year will be like an alpha pack, like you said. I'm not against it though. If they did it, it'd be whatever, because, you know, again, kind of selfish. Like, I think the only way I'd really be like, yeah, no problem, is if like, if the first pack, if the first 6 DLC characters were just from 3, then I'd be happy and I'd just shut up. But I do kind of prefer it being a bit more evenly balanced, and, you know, characters from each game being represented and all that. But yeah, it's that thing where it's like, that was the thing with the DLC, and why I was so kind of disappointed when they announced the base roster and that like a couple of the characters from the leak weren't happening. Was because I was really banking hard on like the DLC for the first season being really strong with Street Fighter 3 characters, and at the moment it's like, we're probably gonna get 1 if we're lucky. You know, which is very disappointing, because obviously for multiple reasons, which I've gone over before multiple times. Yeah, it's just a shame. Because it's like, there's no way, in my mind, there's no way they don't have like a 3 and an alpha character, at least 1, like not in the first, like in that first season. Like, they'll do an alpha and a 3 character, you know. Like, they're not going to have no alpha or 3 characters in like the first year of the game. To be fair, actually, no, I'll take that back. I could totally see them doing it for 3. I don't think they'll do it for 3, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did it for 3. Yeah, same. Like, it is very disappointing. Like, I get it. Like, in that sense, like, it was kind of, you know, a bit of a lofty dream. But like, it is disappointing. But I'm fine with 18. I just wish the 18 was a bit more evenly balanced. Like, no offense to DJ, but like, you know, he probably could have been DLC. If anything, I'm more pissed at Akuma's DLC, because that means he's probably going to be the Shoto for season 1. So we're probably not going to get Sakura or Sean till at least season 2, which is very disappointing. I like those characters a lot, obviously, so I was really hoping that they'd make it pretty early. So, but yeah, like, I don't know. It's that thing where obviously nothing you can really do about it, but like, well, I've talked about it to death before, of like how I wish it was, you know, better evenly balanced. Even, to be honest, even like Cammy, like, I've never really talked about Cammy. Like, I do like Cammy. I don't love her, but even a thing of like, I think Cammy's DLC honestly would have been interesting because it would have at least, you would have at least thought like, oh, they're gonna do something different with her, like they're gonna do something drastic. For like, if for them to put Cammy's DLC, they would kind of need to do something different or drastic to kind of like justify it, I guess. So like her just being DLC, like sorry, her being base roster again is kind of like, yeah. No, that's the thing. It's like that's the thing I can't even really be like mad about when it comes to like characters that I'm not that bothered about making it. It's like I know like regardless they're gonna be like sick in this game. Like Dawson looks insane. I never thought I would ever say that. Like I've never really been a Dawson fan. The playstyle wise, I'm always the worst at him. Like the videos I've done on the what happened ins for Alpha, like when I play as Dawson, like the amount of editing I have to do to make it seem like I'm actually competent while playing as him is ridiculous because I'm awful. I still expect to be awful with him. Like, I'm not just saying like, oh yeah, he looks sick, so I'm gonna be great at him. I'm still gonna be awful, but like he does look good, which is cool. It's that thing. I'm kind of hopeful. Like I think Zangief's the one I'm kind of hoping gets like looks the most interesting. Like he gets the most revamp because I've never really hit how boring I think Zangief is. So I think if any character needs a big revamp or needs a big change, it is definitely him in my eyes. It's that thing where it's like from all the leaked art, like his design, like I'm glad they've given him a redesign, but it's the most kind of like, kind of redesign they could have done, because it's like from the waist down he's different, but like from the waist up he still looks exactly the same. I've completely forgot what that Mr. That's yeah, like he still looks exactly the same. Like, oh, that'd been so cool if I got that. Too close to the wall. Yeah! Oh, that's sick. I love that. That's really cool that you can combo into that. Like that's the type of shit and like that just like makes me think of Third Strike and like the ways you can combo like moves into supers. Like, of course, I'm sure you could do that in 5, but like it never, like from my memory, it never looked as cool as that. Like that looked awesome. Like I don't know about you guys, but I thought that looked sick. Yeah, like like I said, I'm the last person to talk about balancing and buffs and all that, but like, yeah, I do feel like the grapplers in this game are gonna be nutty. Like I feel like they're gonna be like filthy. Like I feel like they're gonna be disgusting, and I feel like a lot of people are gonna be very nervous. Um, I feel like grapplers, because just the way everybody else looks in this game, I feel like Zangief and maybe Marissa, they're gonna have some disgusting things in their kit that is just gonna. I don't think it's gonna ruin the game. I don't think it's gonna ruin the meta or the balancing or all that. But I think it's definitely gonna like have people a bit wary about playing and how things go and like how you deal with a grappler in this game when they're just insane. But we'll see. It's interesting that with that we've still not seen one, and that they, like I said, like they did a beta without a grappler. I think that's interesting. I don't know if it's gonna mean anything, like, but it'd be cool if they were a bit crazier. Oh, I didn't get the full thing. Still cool though. Still cool that you can hit it. Nice. That's so cool that you can do that. Like I love that combo. That's so sick. Oh, you can do. Oh, that's cool. You can do double combo. Double combo EX donkey kick. Yeah, I actually really like Ryu in this game. I don't know if I like him more than Ken yet. I will probably actually. I said I was gonna. I've got a couple of minutes. I'll probably switch to Ken in a minute, just to one last kind of spin with him. But like, I actually really like Ryu in this game. I think he's really cool. Like, definitely like him a lot more than he was in 5. Be kind of crazy if I end up playing Ryu more than Ken in this game. But at the moment, like honestly, just from the little bit I've played of him and now me messing around with Ryu, like, I kind of like Ryu a lot. Like, which is just kind of crazy to think about. I'll switch to Ken and see how that goes. I'll keep the stage. I'm not bothered about changing it. Do you have a theory of where the story could go in 6? I've not really thought that much about it, to be honest. I have bits here and there, but mostly because we don't really know what's going on. Does the game feel clunkier than 5? A little bit, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, I don't feel like it's a negative. I do think it is a little bit. It feels like people are asking me, like, is it slower than 5? And like, yeah, but again, like, not in a bad way. It just feels a bit different. Like, it just feels like a slower. I would say like clunkier, yeah, but like I would say more kind of like media. Like when you do a move and you hit somebody, like it just feels like there's more weight behind it. Like when I do a Hadoken, like I don't know, like it comes out slower and it feels slower, but like it just feels like there's more weight behind it, and I personally enjoy that. If you like more fast gameplay like what 5 had, then yeah, you probably will be a bit disappointed, but I don't think it's bad. Like I think to me it's just a different type of how it, just a different type of gameplay. Yeah, sorry, going back to the story. Yeah, I've not really thought that much about the story or put much effort into really thinking about the story because we don't really know. They've said so little about it. Like, the biggest thing at the moment seems kind of like Ken, like what's going on with Ken. And I feel like he's probably going to be the biggest kind of like glimpse into what the overall story is going to be. Like, obviously, I posted on Twitter before stuff like Nashal and like whatever's going on there, and something happened in Nashal and like somebody died, I think, and like Ken and Guile and Luke were there. So I'm definitely interested in seeing that and how that goes. If anything, I feel like the story, the kind of the whole vibe of this game is very kind of like very low key-ish. Like I feel like I don't really think there's going to be that much of like a big, massive threat to the world. I feel like it may lead to that, and then Street Fighter 7 might be like, that whole thing. But I do definitely think the whole point of this game, the whole story, the whole meaning of it is definitely kind of going back to the basics in that sense of just being like, what is it? Like, what is strength? Like, what does it mean to be a Street Fighter? And I think that's the whole point of World Tour mode, and like what your created character is. It's like the point of it is like how you become a Street Fighter and like your journey. And I think that's the whole thing with the whole tagline is like your fight. I think that's what that is in reference to. So I think overall, I think this is going to be more of a low key game. I don't think there's going to be no big Bison or Guild plot. I think they're going to be there, and I think there's going to be reference to them, and they're going to be in the world. But I think most of the story is going to be very self-contained between characters. Like I feel like Ken's going to have his storyline, and there's going to be characters relating to him. I feel like Ryu's going to have his storyline, and if the characters are related to that, they'll be linked to him. But I feel like otherwise, there's not going to be like, I don't think it's going to be like 5 where there's some big world plot at play. I think it's going to be very low key, and I think the majority of the focus on the story is going to be your character, your fight, how you become a Street Fighter. So that's my thoughts on it so far. Could be completely wrong, but I'll have to see how it goes. No, yeah, I like 100%. Like the world feels like just it's that thing as well where I'm kind of like I really want to know, like exactly how long it's been since 3, and like just like what's been going on since 3, because like the world in general just feels like so much at peace. And like yeah, you can say it's like because Bison's gone and Shadloo's gone and all that, which is true, and I assume that's a big part of it. But like I don't think 3... Again, I think the fact 3 was so self-contained in the sense that, like, the only characters that were really involved in 3 stories are obviously the characters that were playable. So you can still kind of play off, like, oh yeah, like, while 3 was going on, like, the rest of the world was like it is now. Because, like, when you look at, like, World Tour, and people are just in the streets, they're just having fun, and they're just doing this and that. And, like, there's never really anything you really get in the other games, really. Obviously characters are in the background and like, oh, they're looking at the fights like all these guys are doing right now. But like, the general world of Street Fighter at the moment just seems like it's really just at a time of general peace. Gil's still in the shadows. Yeah, 100%. I expect I do definitely think the Illuminati are definitely, you know, working in the shadows. They're definitely behind the scenes. I think at the very least they're definitely like, I don't know if they're recruiting. It's weird because you see the advert for them on the billboard. You know, you see the advert where it's like, yeah, it's got the artwork from Yun's ending in Third Strike, where it's Gil's speech about like, you know, the two halves, like how the whole world is split in two and all that. And it's like, I don't know if they're recruiting or if they're just, you know, because the whole thing about Gil and obviously his character story in 5 was like him finally, like, you know, opening up the secret society's existence to the world, and like how against that Gil was. Sorry, how against that Urian was. So I definitely think they're continuing that. I definitely think the secret society, the Illuminati, is going to be like, it's going to be an open thing. I don't think they're going to be like a major force, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like a cult now. It's like, you know, oh, if you want to join, you know, I actually, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a Scientology type thing now, where it's like, oh, you know, the people like, oh, I'm, you know, I know the truth. I'm with Gil in the secret society. Like, I know what's really going on. You got like all your like Hollywood actors and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, Gil's the one. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes that route. But yeah, they're definitely still around, which I'm glad. You know, I would have really hated it if they just completely vanished and like, you know, just off screen they all got destroyed. In that sense though, it's disappointing because I know, like, I know they're not going to be the main threat again. I've accepted that. So, but it's a thing where it's like, I kind of still hope they go with the stories, the storyline of like, what if like the whole thing with the prophecy and what Gil and Alex's links are and stuff like that. I hope they continue that stuff. But I think even if they do, it's a bit disappointing that it's probably not going to be like a big thing anymore. Which is, you know, it's a shame, but as long as it's there, I don't mind. I wonder if them showing off Damned means anything. Honestly, I'm still convinced Damned is going to be DLC at some point. Whether or not he's going to be Season 1, I don't know. He very well could be. But, yeah. Just, like, to me, he screams, like, because, like, how Alex was, like, in the early days of Street Fighter 5, where, like, he was in the background of one of the stages, and he was prominent in the background of one of the stages, and he had a new design. And, like, he was there, and then he ended up being DLC. I don't think he's going to be, like, the first DLC character or anything. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he's, like, Season 2 or Season 3. But I definitely think Damned is going to be playable at some point. It just, to me, his design and the focus on him just screams it to me. I mean, he got, like, a badge at, like, TGS, at, like, Tokyo Game Show. He had a badge with him on it, you know, along with, like, Luke and Jamie and all that, which is just mad. Oh, wow, someone called Jotaro Kujo. That's funny. Yeah, I'm probably going to call it in a minute. I'm probably just going to wrap up. I'll wait to see if anybody's got any more questions before I wrap up. I've enjoyed it, though. It's good. I enjoyed, you know, I've enjoyed playing it and just chatting. I'll have to do this more often with other games. Just really hope. Yeah, I don't really know what to make of JP, and obviously him. He's clearly linked with G, and like G is his own thing entirely. I really don't know what they're doing with that. Like, I'm still shocked G's not in this game. Like, I really thought he was going to be in the base roster because they were building him up a lot. At the end of Third Strike, bloody hell. At the end of 5, like they were really building up G, and yeah, I'm really interested to see what JP's deal is. I don't know for sure if he's going to be Bison related. I know because he's got the he had the Shadlu flag, didn't he? I don't know if he's going to be straight up like a Bison like body or anything like that. I hope not. I kind of like, I wouldn't be against it, but I would kind of hope they'd like, you know, move on from that, or at least give it like a little bit of a break before just going straight back into like Shadlu and Bison stuff. Yeah, no, it's definitely good. Yeah, I am really looking forward to this game. It is really, it's I can definitely tell this game's going to be special. Like, I really can't wait to get my hands on the full thing. It's that thing, honestly. I honestly think 100% Capcom could release Battle Hub as its own standalone, like, free-to-play thing. And I think they could do that, and I think, you know, it'd be very successful. I think that's how well this mode and all of this customization stuff, like, stands on its own. I absolutely think, like, they could just release this on its own as, like, free-to-play. Like, give you online matches really in like training mode, but like obviously like if you want the full product, if you want Fighting Ground and World Tour, obviously like buy the full game. But yeah, yeah, it's very good. I'm very pleased I managed to get in and play it for a bit and check out the customization. Yeah, I will try to be on tomorrow. It's Sunday, I think. Yeah, it's Sunday, so I shouldn't be doing anything, I don't think. I'll try and be on about 3 p.m. my time, or about round about the time I was when I first started. When I did the first stream earlier today, about 3 p.m. my time. So hopefully, hopefully that goes all right. Yeah, there's nothing else for now. So I'll put it out on Twitter and all that. If you follow me on Twitter, it's Scotia8, VIII, the Roman numerals for 8. I'll put it in a comment. Actually, I'll put it in the comment now. 2 seconds. Let me just sort that out. I'll put my thing in the chat so you can. If you want to follow me, if you're not following me already, you can check me out there. I can't find it. I thought you could share. No, I just put my app. That's my app on Twitter if you want to follow me there. If you want to check out, I'll post a tweet when I go live tomorrow. So check that out if you haven't, obviously. If you're not on Twitter, just put the notification bell thing on my channel so you'll be notified when I go live. I think that's how it works. Yeah, cool. Thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was mostly me just messing around and talking, but I've enjoyed it. I've had a good time. So tomorrow we'll probably try out Chun-Li and then probably maybe go into a more populated server and just try out some more matches. I'll probably lose all of them, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I'm going to leave things there. Thank you all so much for coming and chatting. It's been really good. I shall hopefully see you all later. Goodbye.